Okay, we are back. Thank you very much for bearing through a moment of technical difficulties. Can you guys say some things, and then people in the chat let us know if the player audio sounds okay?
Some things. Some things.
Are we sure we're supposed to be speaking, or are we just supposed to be listening?
There should be a little delay on chat coming through.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody sounds okay, though.
Usually it's like a 1 minute delay or something like that. All right.
I'm in the chat right now seeing people saying fingers crossed. Fingers.
Chat, does the audio sound good for players and me? Okay, let's assume it is, because last time that's what fixed it. So, you all have devastated that galleon, and it is quickly blubbing to beneath the surface of the water before your eyes. I do need to do one final roll for miscellaneous giants, not the fire giants. Okay, so you've got the majority of, or you see the majority of the enemies from that ship in the water swimming. Lots of them got off the ship, not all of them. All right, so there is this enemy Thrate, a battle priest Thrate, on one of those drakes that is drawing closer to you. It's still a pretty good distance away. It's at like plus 600, and you're still at like plus 1500.
I think we should draw him back over top the rampart, and we could take him out. I think probably.
I have no problem unless we're moving another threat from the board.
Yeah. So we'll kind of we'll get in position out of his line of sight, because we go up over the rampart, and that means we can't see him either. But I would ready actions for when he appears, basically to unleash hell.
Okay.
At him.
Sure, that's fine. That's enough of
it gives you enough to run with.
Yeah, that's enough of what I need you guys to. He doesn't go up there. He goes to join with others.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fire galleon got laid to waste. That was a unbelievable conflagration, a veritable inferno in a barrel.
Yeah.
So, should we cut back to down below?
You could. Just to end this note, I would say we are headed back towards the main keep once we determine he's not following us.
Okay.
Because we want to join that conversation.
Here's what I'll do. We're going to start like you all heading that way, and I'm going to actually roll on the climbers. Let's check in with them.
Yeah, check on them, because that'll determine.
We've got a battle
priest. See how many more fall.
We've got a battle priest Thrate here.
Can we pull up the map again, Esper? Because you're not streaming it for us.
Oh my goodness, I forgot to share it with you two. Okay, or you three. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Let me get the right one.
Yeah, I've been having to watch it on the...
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. All right, so this battle priest Thrate looks like he is actually waiting for his ally to come and pick him up. All right, giant foot soldiers there. The D1 unit. They are ascending. Okay, and then who else do we have over here? All right, C1 is doing well. Let me get this on. Oh my gosh, let me get this onto the object layer. Okay, change to object. Change to object. Got it. Okay. And then, what was that? That was C1. That counts as C1. Okay. I guess those should be together then. C2. Infantry. They have another mishap. They're not doing well at all. So the cannon fodder C2 has, I would say, many wounded, some dead.
If I may, Esper, you might just
Fire
set
giant.
all the ships to objects, just because I don't think they're going to move. If you have to move them, you could switch the object.
F1
layer.
infantry, they stall. F2 infantry, they actually have a mishap. Oh my gosh, they are not rolling well. It's got the apprentice from Eldritch Castle's luck running over on this one, it seems.
Well, that's good. Good because it's our enemy.
All right, F2 now have some wounded, a few dead. Okay, and the F2 fire giants. F1 and F2 fire giants. All right, both make progress here. All right, so I don't know. It seems like it might be important to know where those guys are at. A1. Let me see what's going on with A1. A1 is Bale Grindlaird's galleon, and they are strong. Oh gosh. Okay, so this A1 I think is going to be just like, I'm going to reposition it here, and we can understand that they're going to try to get through the lower doors. Change to, where's my change to? Change to, that's, what, oh, I'm on the player window, not the DM window. All right, go away. Change to object. Okay, so we can understand that these are down below with the others. What should I do to represent that? I need another fire. Well, that's okay. We can understand. We'll just remember that there are giants and dwarves trying to break through on both sides down below. So, speaking of down below, Aygir is there, along with a number of others, mainly elven soldiers, and everyone's, weighted with shields and readied shots as the door is being pounded incessantly by battering giants from the other side. But for now, it's holding. It is a highly fortified gate built by giants to potentially hold out other giants or kind of anyone. So it is holding. Aygir, anything you want to do?
Well, I mean, he kind of needs to get back up. At this point, he wants to just get to where the retreat is starting to form up and be ready to help people, get away. Mm-hmm. So he will. I mean, assuming Sir Hopkin is still down there, he's going to say, "We need to start moving the army now. This gate will hold for a time. Once the barrels are in place, then I will call for Vapor and Walykos, and they will set them off. We must do this now if we are to save as many people as we can."
Men! I am to make my last stand. Who will stand with me?
Shit.
One man steps forward.
So, last time I rolled this exact same with that other group, I rolled a natural 1. This time I rolled a natural 1.
I see.
Morale is breaking, and men are fleeing in chaos.
So this
maybe not everyone's quite like that exaggerated, but there is a great press to quit this place.
No one's listening to him.
It's chaos.
He tries
It's so loud. Yeah.
He's trying to rally the troops, but no one cares.
So but did I hear that correctly though? That Hopkin himself is saying
Hopkin
and
and like his right hand, like his brother in arms, closest companion of Holmsgate, like
Get
those
him out
two.
Of here.
Yeah. So,
unless Aygir has a rallying speech to give.
I mean,
oh no.
Well, he's gonna have to do something. Assuming
you could wait.
No. He's gonna stand like on the stairs in the way and say, "Listen to your damn commander, cowards." Are you going to stand here and... this cannot be. We need to retreat.
I'm going home to my wife and family. I'm going to protect them. And that sort of. They see it. Many of them are just. They see this as hopeless and complete suicide. Which
Aygir slaps the guy and says, "Fuck your wife. I'll tell her she's married to a coward."
This hobgoblin trying to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you smack him like as he's running past you, and he does not linger around for any kind of
this
back
very
and forth.
Dressed,
No banter.
Citizen bullying the high society soldiers. So I mean, fuck.
Do you want to make a charisma check, like a charisma skill, to try to convince some men to stay for the last stand?
This is probably stupid, and I don't know how far he's going to have to go with it to work, but I think the move right now for Aygir in this one particular moment is to start shouting as if he himself, saying, if Hopkins going to stay, he's going to stay, and make sure that as many of them get out of here as they can. Will you stand with the commander, your commander? Will you stand with the vanguard? So Hopkins and I stand together, and we will make this place into an insurmountable wall through which fire galleons themselves cannot go. Who will stay here, and who will be remembered as those who ran? Who will be remembered as those who had not one shred of dignity? Who will be heroes, and who will die a hero, and who will live forever in a life of shame under the boots of giants, or something like that.
Well said. Well said. Make a persuasion check.
But sort of. Okay, this is gonna be bad.
Well, what's the worst that can happen? You roll an at one.
Yeah, exactly.
That ship has sailed.
Holy shit! Well, I mean, I could roll an 18, which is what I did. So I got a 16.
16.
Nicely
not
done.
bad.
No, it's not. It could have got a lot worse.
Especially you didn't have to overshadow anyone here.
Exactly.
You could only go up.
Well, right, because their leader is already doing this, so I'm just Aygir's just jumping on this bandwagon.
Aygir, roll a d6.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, really? Get like people? I got a 6 actually.
Wow. You have a half dozen more soldiers to stand with Hopkin and his right-hand man.
Aygir's gonna mutter to Hopkin, "Get that man from the walls."
Finally!
To stay too.
A death in battle! Worth something! Shing! Ah!
He's gonna tell Hopkin, "I hope you know that I am not going to stay here if there's any way out. I know I am needed at the walls, but...
be gone, you hypocrite!
Should it come down to it, I will tell Vapor and Walykos that they are to go on. I will stand with you. This is the future of the whole island. Even my people. All of them on the cloud step."
So you say. Soon we will see how hypocritical you are, or not.
I am true by my word, if nothing else. My people. This is the way we are.
Meanwhile, Walykos and Vapor is like, "Where's the horn for the retreat?"
Yeah. What the?
What is Aygir doing?
Right as we see a mass rush of people rushing out of it.
Yeah.
What is he doing down
so
there?
Walykos and Vapor are like swooping in on the kite sails, flying really fast, and you see like one of the side doors, of the main keep, fling open,
people.
and there's like a crush of basic soldiers, a few of their captains amongst them, and
now. Remind me again, who else was on the airship? Wasn't it Source's Flay himself?
Source's
was one
Flay.
of the people?
Yeah.
Is there a chance he could have been down here briefly with us?
That would leave who?
No, that would leave the dwarf unattended.
Then never mind.
No.
He's gonna tell Hopkin, "I need to go up for but a moment, and I will return. ensure that retreat horn is sounded. And in that moment, he's going to go up and he's going to tell Sources Fly, if he can, to take the airship and act like business as usual.
Business as usual?
To go
It doesn't
to
make
where
any
the,
sense.
to go to where the retreat is mounting, and that he'll join if he can. He's not committed to sacrificing himself, but he's definitely not gonna run immediately.
How are you going to get yourself out if you're not on the airship?
He'll figure out a way. He's
Oh God.
Well,
I don't think it's.
only
I don't
take
think it's
one
Sources
person.
Flay on the airship. I think it's Crispin Hollow's Tower
Sorry,
Wizard of
that-
House Mantevale.
I get them
That's-
confused for some
that
reasons,
is
but
100% true.
That's it.
Yeah.
point being that
So
Hopkins
you
has
say,
now, like,
Aygir, this situation is madness. But if that's the plan, then so be it.
I do not know truthfully what the plan itself is anymore. Hopkins, it won't move. I cannot get him to abandon the place. I am running out of ideas. I do not want to stay here, but if I have to, Sky Father, forgive me. It's
So let me know when we arrive, Esper.
take the airship to the docks and ensure that Vapor and Walykos know that I'm going to try to get out of here. And then he goes back down, and then, yeah, we'll cut over to the...
Graces of the
others.
White Raven be with you, or whatever Sky Father God you speak to in your own uttered prayers. And, he turns then to the dwarf pilot. Oh, confound you that way! All right, so the airship is making its way to the docks. Shortly after, there is the retreat horn blown.
Finally.
Walykos.
Yeah.
What's that Aygir that just ran back inside? I could
I
sworn that was
couldn't
his
tell.
armor.
There's a lot going on right now, but we got to get in there and find Hopkins. We need to make sure that the barrels are in place, and we need to get in position
All right.
for when this goes down.
All right, so Vapor, Walykos, Nokki's probably with you as well. You all fight against the crush of the retreating, fleeing soldiers, and there's a lot of jostling and shouting going on, and press your way through, and you get down to the lower reaches where you hear this incessant pounding sound of giants trying to bash through this heavy gate. Aygir just got back there, and there is Sir Hopkins, commander of Holmsgate. There's his right-hand man, like the second in command, the sort of lieutenant, and 6 others who are committed to making this last stand. Everyone else has fled.
And this is when Walykos and Vapor burst onto the scene.
Boom! I'm going to roll on the giants, for the giants trying to bash through the door.
Give them another chance.
That was a big one. It's not going to hold for more than just a couple more bashes. So quick, what do you do?
So Walykos and Vapor arrive at this. And I shout, Hopkins, you and your men, get them out. You have to leave now.
What about the last stand?
You think that your last stand is going to do more than 3 barrels of crackle powder?
Ah,
saw what
shit!
it did. We sunk that ship. I don't know why you're still here. Go!
All right,
Well,
so
wait, he probably hasn't.
this
seen
is the first
ship
they've heard
sink yet.
how big that of an
Yeah.
explosion that was. Which
Yeah.
We took out a ship with 1
just
barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the barrels get positioned there. Nokki, oh, here, good spot, okay. And whoever else is helping carry them. So I assume this means Aygir is retreating again.
If Walykos or
Aygir's getting out of there.
If Hopkins
Aygir,
has been persuaded to go out, then
take you and Hopkins take these kite sails. We'll be fine. Vapor and me have teleportation, and we can fly a little bit. You know,
as you see, this Vapor is concentrating. He's burning spells to get sorcery points to regain fourth level.
He's bonus actioning,
and he's also prepping to do something very risky as well.
Okay, so you convert the sorcery points into spell slots.
No, spell slots into sorcery points.
Spell slots into sorcery points.
Then into a 4th level slot because he needs that 4th level.
And a few extra spells. He's burning pretty much everything just so he can distance a dimension door.
So also, really quickly though here, Aygir,
2,000 feet.
Really quickly as Aygir's turning around, so Hopkin is retreating?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I gave him the correct info, Adam.
Sure. He says to Hopkin, "Still think you need to die here? No. Let's go." And then he says, as he walks by or runs by Walykos, he kind of mouths, "Thank you."
Did you really just do it? I told you so. Wow. Okay, no, it's I no time for that. I just give you a little,
the gate gives through. And you see just like ogre faces pressing through.
Aygir, tell Adriel if I don't survive this. Fuck him. I don't
know. These ogres bash through. They have like, some like plates on their knuckles, and they're like swinging to strike at whoever they can get close to.
Fantastic.
Quick act. What do you do?
Well, we try and hold off as long as possible. We want them to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a rampart or some sort of place where we could be hidden, watching them, where they're not close enough to attack us yet, and we can let them come inside and give as much time as possible for you guys to run? Yeah.
You were on a landing, and the ogres with like giants and dwarves behind them are about ready to come up these stairs to this landing.
So they're in that moment then, and we've given as much time as possible. I look at Vapor. I'm holding the Brine Star.
Yeah, Aygir and Hopkin have been dashing for 2 turns.
I'm ready the spell, and I see you ready in action.
You see Vapor starting to glow. He's pulling the magic. He's prepped.
Distancing
it. And his eyes are closed. But he
I
puts
almost
one
imagine
hand,
lightning starts coming off you and random bolts as you are ready to rip open and ride this lightning out.
Yeah, and you're gonna feel Vapor place a hand on your shoulder, and he goes, "Do it quickly. I don't know how much longer I can hold this before it's gonna rip me out of here."
And in that moment, I pop up and I shout at the giants, who hopefully there's a Bale or someone there, and I shout at them, "Bale Vonder, tell him hello in hell!" And then I throw it down,
And as soon as it's thrown,
I could have phrased that, but yeah.
Large crack of lightning is just heard, and their dimension door onto the airship.
All right, so the essentially like a spear to you has just left your fingertips when there's this this crack of the dimension door, and you and Vapor are suddenly
elsewhere.
Yeah, outside, right? You removed how far? 2,000 feet?
2,000 feet into the interior of the airship.
2,000 feet. It should be 1,000 feet.
1,000.
Normal dimension door is 500. Mine was special in the Land of Dreams and Nightmares.
That's right. You were able to upgrade it. That's why.
Because of the old one. Yeah.
So 1,000 feet, and if the airship is within range, Vapor's targeting that. If not, as close to the airship as possible.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what happens, because you can't see you don't see the airship, but you know which direction to go. So you do a 1,000 foot dimension door, and you and Walykos kind of fall out of the air. You're just kind of in the air, and you fall down a little ways. And yes.
Well, we could just splash into the water, but I have a flight thing, and Vapor has a flight thing. But yeah, I don't know how much time we have. It is as a bonus action, you gain a flying speed of 10 feet and can hover.
Okay,
rising
so
tide.
this it's not enough falling for a bonus action to happen. If it's a reaction, you could. So you appear in the air, and you're just this little ways off of the rocky mountainous crag to the west of the main keep, and you fall a bit, and oof, you hit onto the rocks, sustaining only 9 points of falling damage. So you fell about 40 feet or so, and you just like, ugh! So you're on this sort of like mountain. Imagine sort of like a ridge, like a mountainous. Here, you guys are seeing the.
Yeah.
Am I still showing the map? Oh yeah, I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you
are.
would need to move it to.
Yes,
show
you
us
guys
where
are like you're like right here.
Okay.
You're like right there, right? So you fall, oof,
Cool.
and like the very next second, there's this like, it feels like an earthquake. Like everything's just like shaking like that, and there's this muted, this muted thing, muffled, I should say, a muffled sound of those barrels exploding with a brine star in the mix, and
we positioned them as best we could to try and take down the gate. But yes, you know that.
take down the central keep so it collapses.
there's
Esper's on it.
Yeah, there's a tremendous puff that comes out from the northern and southern part, like the tunnel here. This like a dust grit, like billowing cloud out of it. The actual many parts of the upper structures of the keep, they hold together.
Yeah.
But the kind of the core of the main keep, you don't have a visual on it, but by the feeling of it, you imagine just got completely devastated.
Cool.
The earthquake rumble ceases. There's this billowing clouds of grit that just like keep expanding and expanding out.
Yep.
Aygir, I need you to make your choice of an acrobatics check or an athletics check. Acrobatics, this is for you getting out and not getting
Caught in the blast.
caught in the collapsing rubble and structure.
Right.
It's your choice.
And-
Athletics is just pure speed. You are vaulting
Sure.
upstairs and through halls. Acrobatics. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe acrobatics could work too, but you tell me.
Well, I mean, mechanically, acrobatics is the thing he's better at, so he's probably going to go for that.
You want to go with
which
that?
is,
Okay.
That's him like ducking and
nimbleness.
dodging out of the way of falling debris and stuff. However,
I think it's a balance thing.
he's wanting to make sure that
It could be balanced too.
He's also wanting to make sure that Hopkin gets out too.
Okay.
know if that's
Well,
gonna
we're gonna do
incur
a couple
problem,
roll.
but-
We're gonna do a couple rolls
Sure.
here because I don't want this all to hinge on just one single roll. But first,
Alright.
do your acrobatics check, and let's see how well you are
Ooh,
fleeing.
pretty good. 17.
Not slipping and falling.
All right,
as you-
nimbleness,
17.
nimbleness, and agility is with you. Sir Hopkin, on his athletics check. Oh, sorry, it's on another page here. 18. Okay, so he as well. He is actually farther ahead of you. He has ran and vaulted farther, and then there is this muffled, kind of violent roaring sound, and the whole world around you begins to shake. You are in like the belly of an earthquake, in the center of an earthquake is what it feels like. All right, so the second roll needs to be something that's it could be based on perception to pick the right hallway to take. It could be based on if you could come up with something, but it needs to be not a physical fleetness, but something
Sure.
more based on your perceptiveness or your awareness of your surroundings. Perception is what comes to my mind. To quickly reconnoiter. That way over there is about ready to just collapse completely, and that
No,
way over there
sure.
looks
The only
Can
way
I make
more
a
secure.
suggestion? Investigation. I know that that's usually meant for a slower thing, but it's
Mhm.
also about deduction based on clues and discerning.
Maybe.
things.
I'm good at investigation. If I could, that would be great, but I don't see how that really works. If anything, I was going to say history, just to like remember details about looking at a map of the place. But that would be identical to perception anyways, so I might just go with perception.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Assuming, yeah. Okay. Investigation would have been a good idea, though. Anyway, that's it's not as good, but it's not bad. It's a 13.
13? Okay. And here is Hopkins. Hopkins has a 7. So you two chose unwisely, or maybe unluckily. Right. And as soon as you get a little ways into this hallway, the whole thing is just collapsing around you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Shit,
you
this
accidentally got
sideways.
swapped.
All right. Yeah.
You guys' images got swapped.
Dex save is good, though. That's a 17.
17? Okay. And Hopkin. You leap like with evasive reflexes, just as a huge chunk smashes down at your heels. So you avoid getting damaged or trapped. That chunk lands square on Hopkin. He is cast to the ground, trapped, and seriously injured. Do you keep running? Do you keep running, or you try to help him out?
No, I need to help him out. He needs to get out of here, and he needs to get out of here alive, even if it costs Aygir a lot. So,
all right. So you have to make a mad dash for this down this hallway. Give me the acrobatics or athletics.
No, sorry. I mean, Hopkin has to get out of here alive, even if it costs Aygir a lot.
He's helping Hopkin.
Yes.
Oh, you are helping Hopkin.
Yes, that's what
I
he was
completely heard that the opposite way. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we clarified.
Yeah.
Okay, so think quickly. How do you help him?
Well, so what? He's pinned into this thing?
Pinned under a heavy amount of rubble, and it's continuing to collapse the whole hallway around you.
Okay.
Quick, immediate reaction.
Very, very quickly, he's going to look for the finesse way to try and push it off, because he's not the best at brute strength, but he has to get this thing off of him. So
sleight of hand.
He'll figure out the way to sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Perfect.
Go for it.
Sure. All right, that's a good one. Very good one. It's a very good one, and roll is not the worst, but it's not the best. Total of a 16.
16? Okay. So you reach up in there. Come on. And Hopkin, I'm making here an athletics check as you found an ideal part of his body to grasp him and help jostle a bit of him free that was trapped.
Sorry, I lost audio for a moment there. What's happening?
You've essentially given him advantage on his athletics check. Okay. What you did was not enough to completely get him out, but it did help him. So you slip a hand up in a crevice and get part of him unhooked or unpinned. So he's going to make his own athletics check with advantage. And with advantage, he gets a natural 20. He pulls himself free.
Okay.
I need you to make another dexterity check as it's continuing to collapse around you.
Sure. And then, provided this works.
Per inspiration rules, I think that was really good role playing, not just saving himself there. Can I give Aygir my inspiration?
You have been inspired, Aygir.
I've lost my inspiration. I give it to you.
This is a dex save?
You don't have to use it.
You're still in the collapsing hallway, so dexterity saving throw.
You can use the inspiration when you want. I'm giving you inspiration.
Right. So he just made this. He got a 15. I think that might be enough. He's not going to use the inspiration immediately, but
that's exactly what you needed. Was a 15. Okay. Hopkin.
And then
I got to do Hopkins' roll.
Depending on.
He got a 19. All right. So the two of you avoid more chunks of falling rock.
I mean, how injured is Hopkin? Does Aygir need to firemen's carry him out of here? Or can he walk?
He is badly hurt. He's going to be making his athletics check with disadvantage to run.
Then Aygir is going to carry him because that's Okay. He can't have him just trip and stay here until something falls on him. So he's going to be doing that.
All right, it'll slow you down. So instead of one more run to potentially get you out of the hall, it'll be 2.
It's one more run to get Aygir for sure out and Hopkin not for sure, versus 2 to get them both for sure out of here. So that's what it has to be.
All right. So the hallway, the collapsing hallway, is a tremendous threat, a terrible hazard, but you decide you're not abandoning Hopkins. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
Yeah, I mean, he very awkwardly convinced him to not stand and die. So, like, for him to die here this way would just be the most stupid fucking bullshit.
Who convinced him not to do that, Aygir?
Yeah, let Aygir have his little moment. We'll burst
all right,
the bubble
Aygir,
down the line.
Aygir, make an athletics check.
Yeah. Okay, athletics. All right. So that's not as good, but it is 12.
You're having a very difficult time, and you are struggling, and you really don't make much progress. Hopkin, like,
forget
falls,
your inspiration.
Almost falls over, and you, like, hoist him back up. Make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Don't waste the inspiration.
He doesn't need it yet. He doesn't need it yet. He has an 18. An 18 on that.
Hopkin has a natural 1.
Why does he need to make a saving throw if I'm carrying him?
Because you're both in the collapsing hallway.
Okay. All right.
You are now carrying Hopkins' arm. And a mangled, ripped out, fleshy stump at the end.
I gave you inspiration for the athletic check.
Well, but that wasn't my check. That was his.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was Hopkins' dexterity check for the hallway collapsing all around.
That was not something Okay. All right, so he's...
Run for it, man. You're going to die, like, in 1 second. Run.
Yeah, but is Hopkin... What is his status? He is...
You can't even see him. Completely covered. Smashed. All you see is just, like, billowing grit. You're almost blind. You feel like you're inside of an earthquake.
Adam, he's dead. Just go.
No,
you have a mangled arm in your hands.
I need to be sure. He is dead. I can confirm this. Aygir can confirm this.
Do you want to sit around and try to confirm it, or do you want to run?
Like, I saw blood splatter everywhere, and he's just pinned under there.
You don't even see a body. He's just under rubble.
You can't really see much at all. There's just cloud of dust and grit, and all you know is you heard the collapse right next to you, and the whole arm just came off.
Okay. Aygir just... He obviously doesn't delay, but in that moment, he just says, "Fuck!" And then he carries the arm and runs.
Okay. Collapsing chunks of rock and steel framings are all about you. You're almost completely blind from just grit. Breathing is nearly impossible. Make your choice, athletics or acrobatics, to just dash and try to get out of this collapsing hallway.
All right, we're doing acrobatics. This is like one check will get me out.
Yep, one success will get you out.
All right, acrobatics, using that inspiration. I guess I should have used that before, but anyway, good thing I did now. Makes it a total of 15.
15? All right, you run and you like smash against a wall and you like reorient yourself. Something bashes you from the side and you run again and eventually clear the hallway in the blinding, billowing grit cloud, gets a little bit lighter and you cough and choke and pull yourself out into some other like barracks space that seems to be holding its integrity together. Those of you that are outside, there is a big push for everybody to get to the docks. I'm not going to move around these tokens because it'll just be meticulous, and I might as well keep it in theater of the mind. Everyone is making their way across this rampart, down through a stairwell, down to this landing, to this landing, to this landing, down to the ships, and it's fall back to Barnacle. That is the word. Fall back to Barnacle. Fall back to Barnacle. Everyone's shouting. The Sky Knights and Avasira and Duncan Mantavale, your whole unit pretty much has rejoined with you, Walykos and Vapor, and you all have your kite sails. And those troops over here on this landing, right? Those ones that were there to hold off. You see them starting to, those that have crossbows, starting to take shots at
How many,
advancing enemies.
Was it all of them? Did they all stay?
No.
Like all three
No,
units?
I'm not moving the tokens around because it's just going to be more meticulousness, and I'd rather just keep it in the theater of mind at this moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well that's
so they're starting to take some shots. The enemies are still at a pretty far range, so it's just like the first couple that are getting hit with those that have crossbows. And you're waiting, and where is Aygir? Where is Aygir? And then you see Aygir come out of the door, just
he shows up
covered in just like a layer of grit, and he has like blood spattering one of his shoulders, and he has this arm in his hand that's just been ripped off at the socket.
He has his cloak drawn over his armor, hiding a barely perceptible lump that he's not going to reveal to anybody until he's in the presence of just the Vanguard.
Yeah, I think that's probably...
They can't know, the army can't know yet that Hopkin is dead.
I think that's probably best for morale in this very moment.
Exactly. He had enough time, I assume, to hide it like that, and then...
Yeah. There's so much chaos and confusion, no one's going to worry where Hopkins is until the aftermath.
Exactly, and his visor is down, so nobody can see the mask of panic and survivor's guilt setting in, and all this fucked up stuff going on with what just happened, and how tragically stupid that was. But...
these are the moments that define us.
Precisely. This is going to have character ramifications for decades.
Yeah.
But yeah. So he's going to be booking it for the airship now, because that's his ride out.
Yes.
We will meet you there on our kite sails.
Yep. So I take it once Walykos and Vapor see Aygir making it booking it towards the airship, they're going to book it towards their kite sails.
Mm-hmm.
Is Avacera with the ships? Is she coming to meet us at the airship? What's Avacera doing?
She's with you.
Oh, she's with me.
Yep.
Avacera.
Holmsgate seems lost, but we have managed to take down a number of the enemies in doing so, and
we've
blocked their method, their entrance
invasion
of their galleons through.
It will take them a long time to recover, and that is time that the reinforcements from all of the island and from the home of the elves, Terra Morgana, will have to come and flank them and hit them, from behind. So,
assuming they can in time, but they are underway presumably already. So
they are,
hopefully.
Yeah, presumably.
This is about as much of a victory as could have been hoped for in this moment.
I hoped for more, but this is the best that we could achieve.
Who all is here, by the way?
The Vanguard.
Well, pretty much everybody is here.
Yeah.
All right. So
obviously, some of the Holmsgate forces did perish here, but not large numbers of them.
This is when Aygir will lift his visor.
They lost everyone that were on those forward ships.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is when Aygir does lift his visor, though, and look over and say, "About as much of a victory as what? This was a defeat. Not an utter one, but...
It was a militaristic defeat, but this is a tactical victory.
We did the best that we could."
Aygir pulls his cloak a little to the side. Fuck your tactics. Stupid
Who are you to
bastard.
Question? Like
he puts the arm out on the nearest table or whatever. I assume it's just assuming for detail's sake, it's the arm that has his signet ring on it. Stupid bastard wanted his hero's death.
Why did you delay?
I did not do anything of the sort.
I gave you as much time as possible to get out, and you still.
I took as much. A rock fell on him. I had to carry him out. He was going to die otherwise, and he did anyway.
Sarah, is there anything that can be done?
Should have been me back there. We cannot delay here anymore. We must go. We make sure that he is remembered as a hero, Sir Hopkin, and that Barnacle is defended at all costs.
There'll be time for hero talk and all that nonsense later, but right now we need to get everyone that we can back to Barnacle.
We're not arguing different things.
I look out the back of the airship, and I want to see what sort of ruin, as we're flying away, can be seen.
Oh yeah, it's smoking columns and
I want to see if the giants.
So it's not really possible to see in through the water tunnel because it's just clouds of billowing grit.
But that's good. That means that gives me enough that there's damage still being done inside.
Yeah, stuff's still collapsing, burning, and it means that they are going to be delayed, and that's all we can hope for. How long?
And even if the giants are immune to the fire damage, they're not immune to rocks falling on them. So, and not all the giants are fire giants either.
Right.
So there are certainly
rocks fall, they die.
Yeah, there are certainly questions of what exactly happened here, and how much is this a setback? Is it a major blockade that they just can't get through? So these will be learned in the coming
Esper
times.
I know we kind of focused in on us, but Corgain was here, right?
Yes.
He helped, I presume.
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't hear a lot about him during battle, so I wanted to make sure.
There's so much going on in this that it's really difficult to account for the specifics of everything.
I hear what you're saying. I'm
right
there with you.
I think the final takeaway points, the final wrap-up points, are that the soldiers of Holmsgate suffered some losses, but not significant losses.
Which was our most important thing.
Yeah, Holmsgate itself, the fortress, suffered some amount of damage. Potentially was completely collapsed. That internal chunk, and the water tunnel is blocked up.
Yep.
So there's substantial, major structural damage to Holmsgate. You sunk one of the fire galleons, completely just destroyed one of the fire galleons. There's another fire galleon which is damaged. It's not currently very operational. They would need to do some repairs.
Wasn't what about half of that inside the tunnel that just had a collapse?
Yeah, exactly.
There would have been some of that in there, yeah. So maybe we could say two of the fire galleons. One of them for sure was completely taken out. The other one, if not completely taken out, would need massive amounts of repairs.
Yeah.
Some of the enemy forces were slain as well. Some of the Holmsgate soldiers were slain. Some of the enemy forces were slain. But neither side suffered devastating losses to their troops.
No. But that was the thing. We didn't lose our troops while they gained a full victory. We chose to deal as much damage.
Both sides lost and gained some things.
But they started with more, so technically I think numerically they lost more. It's just not as much compared to their total numbers.
Mm-hmm. In those terms, yes. Just in terms of gross numbers versus numbers, they probably lost a bit more than you guys did. Though they have taken Holmsgate, whatever state that it's in.
Whatever they can. If they would have taken it anyways, they just would have killed all of us taking it. So
basically that. So I don't think we really need the Holmsgate map up anymore.
No,
because what good. This now is the fallback to Barnacle. Ships and those of you that can fly are hastening back to Barnacle.
I feel like there's a solemn silence on the way back, where we're all just kind of deep in our sort of thoughts. We didn't want to have this loss here, but we saw which way the wind was blowing pretty early like after 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the battle, we realized we weren't winning this one. So it's a grim moment on the way back, but maybe a little bit of hope knowing that we delayed them and we bought time. And maybe Barnacle, maybe the civilians, we'll figure it out, what we have to do to survive. But that may come the days ahead.
Yeah.
Corgain, I'll let you guys go, and then say your bits, and then Corgain has a thing that he wants to put out there.
I've said my bit, so go on, Adam, Vince.
He wouldn't listen. I don't know why he listened to you in the end, but I carried the man when a rock fell on him. He of all of them had to make it. It was too soon. I should have done more.
Don't get lost in this
I had
one death.
more than my fill of elves and elfin business. If I survive this, I'm returning to the steppes, and
if the steps are still there, remember the steps are under attack as well.
They will remain regardless. You cannot kill what can move.
Aygir. This war's begun, we will lose more. We cannot hyper-focus onto one thing.
Of course there'll be more losses.
This isn't our first failure.
I'm done with elves and elfin business. Win or lose, I shall not remain in Barnacles when this is all over.
I have nothing. Walykos doesn't say anything to that.
Vapor kind of shakes his head. If you do leave, Aygir, I will miss you, especially if we win this.
Yes, well, You have a home out there too.
I do. But I feel that I'm going to be stuck in Barnacle for quite a while trying to keep things together. Even if we win, because if they tried once, what's to prevent them from trying again?
True, but
I have a proposition to make, says Corgain. Yes. That might...
Do enlighten us with this information.
Let him speak.
It would be yet another great risk, but it could potentially be a path that would satisfy the defense of Barnacle and the Elven lands, and Aygir and Vapor's wantings of moving back westward, so to speak. Since the Giants' advance is stalled out for now, we don't know how much time we have. This might be the time for us to infiltrate Belvander's lair. Try to cut off one of the heads now. There is this window of opportunity that is open.
I agree.
I would go with you.
Yeah. Go on.
I've heard of a
I would
spell.
go with you.
That'd be great, but I would need to prepare. There's a spell that I heard whispers of, and if useful, it could possibly cripple Bale in our assaults.
Cripple him? No, that's...
I don't know how strong it actually is. The rumors is all I need is to know his name, and I can hurt him from quite a distance. I don't even need to see or he'd be able to hear me.
That's quite a powerful magic.
That sounds like witchcraft.
That is my... I use magic already, so am I not already a witch? But I can't seem to figure out how to use my magic to turn it. Every so often I get inspirations to channel my magic in different ways.
Well, we can't count on a magical inspiration. I mean, I pray that you come up with this.
I do. I'm just hoping if we have a chance, I'm hoping I can get it before we do this.
This is the time for...
We need to make this attack.
Yeah, this is the time for all things.
But the question is, should we bring anyone else but just the Vanguard?
Well, Corgain, Did you not say there was another one like you out somewhere west? I felt a presence in my sword lately, ever since you gave me this. And he taps the topaz gem that's worked into the pommel now. I feel as though...
I don't think one dragon's going to turn the tide of a war. No offense,
but
Torgain.
But two. About two.
Two could change the
Like
entire...
me after a fashion, in that he is a dragon, though
Yes.
not the same kind of dragon. I am of the crystal lineage. A quartz-like, you might think of it. His would be topaz, as you well know.
Yes.
Tamrak Larks is his name. Yes, out there, on the western coast, not far away from the steam curtain.
If we are to assault Balefond's lair, would we not pass by there on our way?
No.
Real
Ravonda's lair is
quickly,
not on the western coast.
Esper, would Vapor know of this dragon because he did grow up in the steam curtain?
Maybe so. Give me a history check. I think it's possible.
All right, I'm going to use my inspiration because that was a natural one.
Okay.
Oh, and I just got a natural 20 on that.
That was a good inspiration.
Quite a change.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not common knowledge, in fact. But if you've got at least a 20 total...
Yes, I have a 20. I don't have any modifiers. It's a flat 20.
Okay, you got the DC
Yeah.
exactly. All right, so this is not common knowledge, but you are aware in loose respects, in general respects, of a dragon named Tamrak Larks, who has this kind of coastal estuary cave that is a little ways south of the steam curtain region. He's said to be, like, people don't go there. He's said to be a very, testy, foul-tempered dragon. It's also known as a place of decay and entropy.
I would be cautious of going to him.
Well,
Yes.
regardless, if it's not on our way to Balefond's lair, I don't think we need to go there. But Corgain, I feel as though I must speak with him somehow, if there's a way. I think if he cannot be swayed to our cause directly, there may be some insight he has that can help us in some way. Some force of beyond my understanding tells me this.
Sometimes our intuitions can lead us to breakthroughs that our intelligences would have never devised.
Would not have agreed with you on that just yesterday, but well put.
I also think that perhaps we could, with this time that we've been given, Barnacle might prepare some surprises. The elves of old, when they took Barnacle, or whatever the giants called it back then,
Eberg.
they used everything at their disposal, including some very nasty things. Seems like the giants are trying the same with the brine star crackle powder. We should fight their fire with our own brine star and crackle powder if we can.
Elves are resourceful
Yeah.
people.
Yes, this war has no rules.
Well, Balefonder may have some other things that he has been hoarding away for this moment, that if we take him down, perhaps we can turn his tools of war on the giants themselves. I would not be surprised if he had some artifacts, hidden away in his lair from the old times.
Yes. Yeah. And he sought to add to those, to his
Yes.
hoard, utilizing
As
the
we
artifacts of Blackrock Isle.
Perhaps should we also not hit
Which-
Blackrock once more? Attempt to see if we can dive further?
Blackrock Isle for two things. One, if we did that, we might die and bring nothing back. Two, there's that Goliath there who would stop us from leaving with anything. from Blackrock
Nimrod,
Isle.
yeah, he guards the
Yeah.
place.
Not true.
And I'm sure Nokki would have strong feelings as well. because then
He does know him,
will sworn, to protect anything from leaving the Isle. It's fine if we go there and we test ourselves, but
would it be helpful? I think it will be that I pull up the actual map of Haven Isle.
Yeah, please.
Let's let's take a look at it. I put it there in the Discord if you all can see that.
Yeah, I wish we could zoom in a little.
I'm going to zoom in on it. Okay, so this is where the big siege battle just took place there at Holmsgate, and at the moment you all are here, you're on the way back to Barnacle.
Got it.
Corgain tells you that Balevonder's lair is in the
Orklands.
Yeah, it's in this like Crabclaw Peninsula.
Mm-hmm. And that's real close to Blackrock Isle.
The orcs are raiding and sacking across the Bridgelands, which would be like here. This is a goblin city called Dodecachelia, and they're also sacking the Cloud Step.
The Cloud Step, yeah.
The Steam Curtain is here. That Topaz Dragon layer is like, it's like in here in kind of an estuary.
This actually makes a lot of things make a whole lot more sense, because I thought that
Blackrock Isle is here.
Yeah, I thought that those raids were coming from the north, and that Balevonder's lair was actually on Lundgrutvaters itself, like to the north and west somewhere.
I thought so.
Okay, Lundgrutvaters is a whole different continent.
Right, where the giants themselves came from.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the actual homeland.
And I knew that Balevonder was here. I just didn't think he was that far away, which makes a lot more sense.
Right.
Now, Esper, can you go a little bit to the north? I just want to see what's north of here in this little continent. There we go. Gladys.
This is where Nokki's from, is this isle called Flumeless.
Got it.
Pillarstad and Dodecachelia, those are like the two goblin cities.
Right.
Okay. Well, the dragon
goblin
is...
in the like goblin kind in the general sense of the
Yeah.
word goblin, not just specifically the small size ones.
Right.
Yeah. The dragon
Although I think they're the
might,
ones who built the cities, right? And then hobgoblins are more nomadic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So, guys, I think sacking Balevonder is a good plan.
Yeah.
However, we need to figure out how much time we can possibly take, because if we can take even just a little bit of time to prepare ourselves better,
Right.
There's things we could do. We could go back down into the those fire caves and take the elevator and search for better artifacts on the different levels down there. We could go to Blackrock Isle, and as stupid as it is, like what level were we when we went there? Like 5?
5, something like that. Yeah.
No, we were lower.
I don't know. I think
we might have been like 4th level. It was crazy.
Yeah, we were not really ready, but we got lucky on that combat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with
still
your
gonna be
initial
dangerous.
logic on that, though. That's far away and takes a while.
Yeah,
I think
so. I'm
we
more.
can do more things if we don't do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think taking the elevator down would probably be the best one to do.
It's
And then-
quick. It takes a day, maybe 2 days. But we need to first check in. We need to make sure that the Duke, right?
Yeah.
He is the Duke?
Ormond Drakestone, Duke Ormond Drakestone.
That the Duke knows, hey, we're not going to be around because we are, we're not going to be here at this moment for him to order to defend Barnacle.
Right.
Because we're pursuing leads to take out potentially.
But also
Balevonder.
stress that, we should hopefully be back by the time the giant army actually do arrive.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully, honestly, if we can take out Balevonder, maybe we can do something to, thwart his plans in the West.
Right.
Well,
if we take him out,
basically-
then that should
We
stop
got more
a
of
lot
the
of
ring stuff going on. We, this is over here in Gondor, and then we've got stuff going on over here. Like, we can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
We should focus in, take out Gondor, and the rest will have to work itself out. I have faith that Barnacle can defend, and I'm really hoping that this stumps the giants for weeks, if not months. while they're like stuck clearing that tunnel and trying to figure out how to get their troops, because it's not so simple. You know, you can't just move a ship over a mountain. You have to find the way to take it through.
Right.
The Ottomans do that a couple times, though.
What's that?
The Ottomans know how to move ships. They've done that numerous times throughout their history.
The Giants aren't the Ottomans. If the Giants carry their ships over it, then good for them.
I don't want to forget to give out milestones. So
I was going to wait till the end, but please, yes. Let's do it now.
So for Walykos, Vapor, and Nokki, you each get 5 milestones.
Wow.
Let's see. Is that
Aygir,
enough?
I'll give you 6. You get an extra one for the extra risk that you took.
Now, when you say 6, do you mean 6.5 by chance?
I meant
No.
6.5 by chance.
Damn it!
Wait, really?
Yeah, sure.
Oh shit. Okay. That's just
Esper,
enough.
when you said 5, you really meant 6, right?
Yeah, you really meant 6, right?
I really meant 6, and Aygir got 7.5. Is what I meant.
Okay.
That's fine.
fair.
7.
Okay.
That's fine.
So,
wait, no, hold on.
Are you okay with
you're-
us leveling?
7 for Aygir, 6 for Walykos, Nokki, and Vapor. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'll be good, because that way we'll all level.
He'll level with
And-
a
and-
half. Yeah.
And Adam, that probably catches you up to us,
It actually puts
because
us ahead of us.
we're all at 0 milestones now.
He's
I
at
think.
half a milestone ahead of us.
Okay, you're half a milestone ahead of us.
Right.
Even
Because
better.
you each, yeah.
Okay.
We each now
So
have
we'll
done
we'll
something.
sort that stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to turn off the stream because we can chat and do things
It's
that are not
perfect
exactly the most entertaining presentation for people. So we'll
Right,
go.
you guys don't need to see us just like hashing out details of numbers and all this stuff.
Everybody
No, this is why
who
people
has
sit
been
here.
following
Totally
along, thank you very much. I know that the mass combat was a bit of a slog and overcomplicated, and
Hopefully this session was a little bit better.
yes, I think
because
so. It was back
I
in the
think it
regular
was,
dynamic of
100%.
things.
Yeah, we'll be back to more D&D as usual starting next time.
Yep. So thank you for kind of bearing with us. As I mentioned at the beginning, the mass combat rules, they served their purpose, but they're just not... There's a number of problems with it. There's a number of shortcomings.
Put them back
So,
in the oven.
The end result, like what it accomplished, was fine, but getting there was just too clunky. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone, for following along. We'll look forward to the next one and get back into some kind of delve, it seems like. And I'll continue the chat with you guys, but thank you all for gaming.
Yeah, we'll see you guys
Yep.
again.
Yep, thank you.
All right,
Everyone has a
until
good
next
night.
time.
Taking down